Do you think those deadly games where people risk their lives for a huge amount of money, like in Squid Game, only exist in fiction? Is it actually possible? If someone really wanted to do it, how much money would it take? And is there any way it could be made legal somewhere on this planet? Yeah, this video might seem silly, but trust me, there's actually something to it. And honestly, we always take playing games more seriously than work. You can support Chip Stein, the nerd with all the random facts, by scanning this QR code right here. And in this video, I'm going to break it down for you, comparing money, laws, and power to see which one really rules them all. Don't forget to hit subscribe. First, let's take a look at who would actually be the person to organize a game like this. In the story, we see those VIPs, right? The ones wearing those flashy animal masks. Those are the ones who organized the Squid Game. So let's look it up and see where the inspiration for those animal masks actually came from. This is the theme of the family party, which was held a long time ago. At this party, it was full of people who were secretly invited. The invitations were sent out, just regular-looking invitations with blue cloud patterns. But even then, the letters were scrambled, so you had to use a mirror to read them. As for what actually happened at the party, no one really knew what went on inside. There were some dark symbols, like a doll with its arms and legs detached. Let's keep looking for more of these. The floor was patterned like a chessboard, just like in Squid Game. It's a Masonic floor. Now, Masonic is actually one of the sub-organizations of the Freemasons. The Freemasons are what you call a secret society. It's a secret organization that's said to control finance, politics, and even the whole world. Even the famous secret society, the Illuminati, is rumored to be just a branch of the Freemasons. But in any case, the Freemasons themselves aren't really a secret. It's an organization that everyone knows really exists in this world, but the Freemasons are an organization with secrets, and there are many powerful, influential people from around the world who are members, which could mean that Squid Game, for example, probably comes from conspiracy theories. The image of the spiral staircase actually comes from Escher's drawings. This is probably just a symbol. It's a staircase that represents the theory of relativity. It's a theory where the stairs connect endlessly, top, bottom, left, right, something that doesn't really exist in this world. Now, moving on to the plot and costumes, this part gets a bit darker. So we tried searching for the term Brothers Home. Brothers Home was a welfare campus in South Korea, which was situated within the city of Busan between 1970 and 1980. The Brothers House campus was a place that systematically rounded up and detained homeless people, street children, or the poor, including many individuals who were seen as opposing the government at that time. It is widely believed today that Brothers Home was one of the welfare homes where the most severe and brutal human rights abuse took place. And these are drawings depicting the abuse that happened at Brothers Home. This was reported by the BBC, which investigated the case. In 1987, it was found that there were a total of 657 victims who died at Brothers Home. All of their bodies were secretly cremated. And it's really very similar, isn't it? The costumes, the way they selected people. Basically, they brought in those who had almost nothing in society. Then the abuse and destruction of bodies by secret cremation. As for the mysterious island location, like in Squid Game, no one really knows where it is either. Some people have speculated that, if it's possible, it would most likely be an island in North Korea. Otherwise, the theory is starting to take shape that if someone were to organize this kind of game, they would have to be someone with an enormous amount of money. For example, inspired by the Rothschild family. And for it to be possible, it would have to be someone who loves strange, bloody sports and has some kind of power, something like that. So it's likely someone from some secret organization. The people recruited to play the game must have almost nothing in society, especially those deeply in debt, essentially the destitute. However, the next logical question to ask is there actually any realistic possibility that this game could be organized legally? If you've watched this series, you'll see that every player has to sign a contract. But does signing this contract mean that a player is actually agreeing to give their life to someone else? The question is, if the money is ready, the players are ready, and the contract is ready, could this game be legal? So let's tackle the legal issues first. The first question is, can you sign a document to give up your life to play a life or death game for money? Can you give your life to someone else? The answer is no. The basic principle is that you cannot legally approve a contract that is against the law. Simply put, there is no contract in the world that allows you to sign away your rights in order to do something illegal. So you do not have the right to let someone take your life just by signing a contract. Now, there's another question. This is point number 2, but it's a bit more specific. The question is, are the people who participate in the game right or wrong? Let's start with the Russian roulette game, the one you saw Song-woo play with Gong-yu at the beginning of Squid Game. It's the game with the gun, where you load a bullet, spins chamber, and then take turns shooting. Disclaimer first, do not do this, do not do this, do not imitate this, okay? But in the game, they keep taking turns shooting back and forth between Song-woo and Gong-yu, and they keep going until, in the end, it turns out to be Gong-yu, who ends up shooting himself and dying. The question is, are the other players guilty? The answer is yes. The person who participates is considered complicit in the death of the other person, so they would also be charged with murder. The next question is, so are the players in Squid Game guilty or not? For now, we're not talking about the organizers, because the organizers are very likely to be guilty, though there might be some loopholes that could make them not guilty. But for the players, if they were tricked into joining without knowing anything, tricked into joining and not knowing that this game would be one where you have to risk your life, then they're considered innocent and not guilty. But if we look back at Squid Game Season 1, you'll see that after the players joined, okay, everyone was tricked at first, but after the first game ended, everyone voted to stop, to quit, and everyone left the game. But then, facing financial problems and outside pressures, they chose to come back into the game again, fully aware that this was a life or death game in exchange for a large sum of money. Everyone agreed to it. So in part 2 of season 1, all the people who willingly came back are all at fault because they already knew this game would cost them their lives. So if we look back at season 1, you'll see that in episodes 1 and 2, the players were innocent. They weren't at fault. But from episode 3 until the end, everyone was guilty. Especially Ji-hun, the one who survived until the very end and received all 46.5 billion won. If he really intended to shut down the game and report it to the authorities, all 46.5 billion won would have to be confiscated first, and Ji-hoon would be implicated in a murder case, which makes it very likely that Ji-hoon would end up in serious prison trouble as well. So let's take a look at whether there are any loopholes in this world that would actually allow a game like this to be held legally. We'll start by looking for a private island. Let's see if holding this game on a private island would allow you to do it without being subject to anyone's laws. The first question I have to ask you is, are you sure you could even find a private island that isn't under the jurisdiction of any country in the world? Because if the island is still within the territory of any country, then it would still be subject to that country's laws anyway. Think about it this way. You say you want to hold it on a private island, right? Well, the house you live in now, would you call that a private house? It's called a private house, but you still can't just kill someone in your own house because you're still under the laws of the country where your house is located. It's the same with a private island. You can't just kill someone on your private island either. You still have to follow the laws of that country. So what if we leave the country's territory altogether, leave the island's jurisdiction, and go out to international waters? Can you really do that? The first question is, are you sure you can actually get that far out? Because international waters are actually pretty far from land. Each country doesn't just own the land itself, they also have territorial waters. According to the 1982 United Nations Convention, territorial waters extend 12 nautical miles from the coastline. Besides that, there are also exclusive economic zones. These economic waters extend 200 nautical miles from the coast. So to actually reach international waters, you'd have to go a total of 370 kilometers away from the shore. That's pretty far. If you think, hey, once I'm out in international waters, that means I don't have to follow any country's laws anymore, well, there are still international laws you have to follow. Let's say you set up this game on a big ship. Like I said, even if you're out in international waters, you still have to follow international laws. Normally, ships sailing in international waters have to be registered with some country, so they're still subject to that country's laws by flying its flag. That country's flag has to be flown on the ship. For example, if you fly the American flag, you're under American law. If you fly the Thai flag, you're under Thai law. If you fly the South Korean flag, you're under South Korean law. So some people might say, well, then just don't fly any flag at all. But if a ship doesn't fly a flag, it actually looks even more suspicious. And suspicious ships are very likely to be approached and inspected by other ships. According to international law, if a ship isn't flying a flag, any other ship passing by has the right to approach and inspect it. Or if there's a ship without a flag, right? And it doesn't get caught out at sea, but people know it's doing something illegal, once that ship docks at a port, it'll get arrested by the authorities of that country anyway. So you might ask, well, what if it never docks and just stays out at sea forever? That's not possible, because eventually they'll run out of supplies. All their equipment and everything else will run out too. Sooner or later, they'll have to dock. Well, what if I don't dock? I'll just have a little boat bring me supplies instead. Exactly. That little boat would get caught first anyway. So if you wanted to organize a Squid Game in international waters on a ship to avoid the laws of every country, it still wouldn't work. You'd still be subject to international law. All right, next question. You can't do it on a private island, and you can't do it in international waters. But what if you had a ton of money, like an insane amount? Could you just create your own country specifically to host this game? First of all, starting your own country and getting it recognized as a sovereign state is not easy. The laws are incredibly complicated, and the whole process is a huge hassle. Plus, hardly anyone has ever succeeded because not many people are actually serious about creating a new country. In reality, when it comes to the legal principles or requirements for turning a new piece of land into a sovereign state, there aren't any clear-cut laws that say you have to follow steps 1, 2, 3, 4. So being able to actually do this is just way too difficult. And let's say, hypothetically, that someone really did manage to create a new country, it's not like it's never happened before. Now, if you say you want to start a new country and make up your own laws, can you really do that? For example, if you wanted to make a game where whoever loses at jacks gets shot, well, you can't do that. No matter what kind of country you are or what kind of laws you make, you're still subject. International law, especially criminal laws that can land you in jail, like human trafficking, torture, or various human rights abuses. So if you're crazy enough to try to create a new country just so you can make your own laws and make this kind of game, let me tell you, it's not gonna happen. You're still bound by international law. So honestly, I can't even imagine what you could do in that situation. Maybe this is just a case of being totally hopeless and having way too much money. Sports? There's no way you could organize some crazy messed up sport like in Squid Game. You can't just hold it on a private island, you can't go out into international waters, and you can't just create your own country to make your own laws. None of that is possible. So does that mean it's just not doable? Basically, everything I've mentioned so far, all the things you can't do, it's all because of the law, right? Go ahead and cry if you want. But the truth is, there are still loopholes. You'll see. This game, even if you have a ton of money, like an insane amount, but it's still not enough, you still couldn't pull it off. But the loophole I'm talking about is, If you have enough money, so much that your wealth basically means you have power above the law, that's the loophole. People with that kind of money and power don't even need to look for some arena to host a Squid Game like we've been talking about this whole video. Because honestly, the entire planet is already their playground.